Somebody 180 or 190 plus that can work one of these bags like this. No way. Only Joe. Of course, Ryan Garcia can work one real good. Joe's got 50 pounds on him. And I happen not to think that Ryan Garcia does a better job than Joe. And these bags are so good to have. They're excellent bags. It's exciting to watch. It won't replace any other bag, but it really helps you with your coordination, timing, and the concentration level that goes in with it. It's really something else. If you can get one, get one. Alright guys, Joe's going to be, I'm not going to move this camera up and down, but when he goes down on these burpees, he's going to do a push-up. We're going to do them in sets of 10 because he's already about whooped, and he'll get, I don't know, maybe about 100 of them. So you'll see him coming up, but when he goes down, you won't see it. He's going to go down on this mat here, and he's going to do a push-up. So got to keep working. Okay. Probably was. We're not going to sue ourselves. If anybody gets upset with them, we'll just do what Ali did and start counting when they start hurting. We had what I counted as 5 jets come over. They're Israeli fighter jets that Colombia has purchased from Israel. So there's some newer planes, but boy, they were flying very low, and we believe it was to make a statement for these elections. They're going to have the second and final election between the last 2 standing candidates for president, and the guy we're pulling for is going to pattern everything here off of Bukele, the president of El Salvador, and put hundreds of thousands or millions of people in these prisons, and where El Salvador's got one supermax prison, this guy's going to put 11 supermax prisons up. And he's going to go scorched earth on the cocaine industry. The cocaine industry is going to be 100% replaced. There's going to be no exceptions, no deal making with this guy. It's total war on getting the population under control, to get them acting like first world citizens, with noise and the bullshit that they do. All the violence and shit that goes on here is going to be stopped, because they're all going to be sitting in a supermax. And we believe he's going to win, because there were like 9 other candidates on the right running right along with him. And he handily won, so everybody that's on the right that was going for other candidates are obviously going to come out and vote for this guy, so he's going to crush the guy on the left. Anyway, we had a lady walking up, and she was walking up the street here right in front of the house, and she started busting out crying. It scared her so bad, the noise of those jets, and we told her, come on in, come on in. And it was an event. It threw fear into everybody. Of course, I stuck my fingers up to my ears to, at a moment's notice, pushed my fingers in on my ears to block any noise if a bomb had dropped. And of course, Joe and I were the only 2 people probably in the whole area that was aware to do that. They were flying very, very low, and it was one at a time. So we're excited for Colombia. If this guy does win it, like we're all expecting he will. Of course, a good majority of the population is going to be sitting in prisons for years and years and years for petty crimes, but that just out of control. You got to do it. And the United States is going to have to make a statement. Of course, if you live in the U.S. and you think it's bad where you are in inner city Baltimore, Compton, or in New York or Chicago or Detroit, you have no idea what we're talking about that goes on down here. It's way worse. How many you got so far? 40?
I don't know. I think I got 50, 40. I don't know.
What are you marking over there? How many sets do you have?
I marked 5.
All right, then you got.
I didn't count until.
Well, you're close enough here. You're about to die. And this is what you should do at the end of a workout. doing 5, 10, 8 minutes, 15 minutes of jump rope work. A lot of gyms, that's what they want you to do, and that's not a good cool down. Something like this, doing something difficult when you're wore down after you've done everything else, to do something like this, and then a walk should be your cool down. And you guys need to start trusting old folk in this community and quit worrying about the brothers on here talking about asses and seats and pay-per-views and all the drama in the sport. If you're doing this sport, you need to be paying attention to people that have gray hair. And you listen to the fighters that you like that will give you hints here and there. Of course, the fighters, when they fight, they're keeping most of what they do. They don't broadcast and put out there, and neither should you. We show you little bitty portions, even if we have a 40-minute video, it's a little portion of what we do that day. So you got to work if you're gonna make it in this deal. And when I say talking about work, I mean you got to work. This is no easy endeavor. Joe right now is just really pushing it. And the thing is, he is half worn to pieces, 3/4, 80% wore to pieces before you get down and do something like this. And it'll work you. Good job, son. Take you a little more time between if you need to. And that's why we're doing like 10 in each set instead of 20, 25, or 30. We're at the end of all the work we've done. And I'm going to tell you, Joe is really, really good on these reflex bags. I don't think there's anyone as good as he in the world. And you have to take into account, Joe's got 50 pounds more weight on him than Ryan Garcia. So if you've watched Ryan Garcia work these bags, and he is great. He can do a few more tricks, but Joe don't get on these things to do tricks. We're not about that. But God bless Ryan Garcia for being about that. It pulls people into boxing, their interest, and maybe perhaps their admiration to get involved and get in the sport. But Joe, with all the more weight on him than Ryan Garcia has got, is really, he can work the crap out of these bags. And he can't, of course, this one we got a steel and iron is what this thing's comprised of, and he's snapping these springs on these things like they're toothpicks. The last spring I put on here was a lot more heavy duty, and he can just work these bags great. This lasted a little while. I think it's been 3 months that this spring has lasted. And he pops these bags, and when they pop, I mean, he pops them, the bladders burst, and they sound like a cannon going off. And this is where the grit to continue is fought, doing something like this, being at the end of your day. And we work hard on Fridays, and I'm going to tell you why and explain this to you folks yet again. A lot of people, they're gearing up to lay around on, coast through Friday. You got a weekend coming up or whatever. A lot of people work during the weekends, but for whatever reason, Friday gets like an off day or a more mild day. It tends to be a happier day for those whom have time off on the weekends and such. And it's been engineered into you because you went to school and Friday was you had a weekend available to you. Had 2 days without school and whatever you go through there. And but our philosophy is different on a Friday. On a Friday, we're going to work harder than we do on any day of the week. And the reason why that philosophy is like that, because one afternoon on a Friday, Christ carried his cross after he had been beaten very badly, hurt very badly. And then he carried that cross up to that hill on Calvary. And if he could do that for us, we can produce a good work ethic on a Friday afternoon or on a Friday evening. And we're going to continue to do so up and around here. It's a respect thing. And respect is being lost everywhere. And I'm going to give you a suggestion. Respect the Lord and fear him. Everybody's talking about how they're friends with him. Everybody's friends with the Lord. And be careful with that. Be very careful with that is my suggestion to everybody. Know he is the Lord thy God. He is the King of all kings, past, present, and future. And he is to be revered and feared. And that's what's wrong with this world today. We don't respect one another. There's no fine line that you don't dare cross with going between men any longer, because men are not behaving like men. They're behaving like effeminate women of the world. Everything's getting feminized, and I don't like it. And when we see one of these dingbats, sometimes it's Usyk walking around looking like a clown. Deontay Wilder walking around with bed sheets trying to be a pretend Muslim while he worships a fake, phony Christ. So I'm sorry, I'm going to be real with it. You got Tank Davis running around, both of them wearing pocketbooks and Elton John glasses. Look at me, I'm proud. And we're not about that around here. We're going to be back home soon, and we're going to start beating people up in the U.S., and y'all going to know about it. You're going to hear about it. You're going to say, oh, I remember that old man talking about how he was doing things. And when you get back, whether I make it back on a journey or not, Joe's going to continue. No matter how far I get in his journey. And he's going to continue, and he's going to show you all. And he enjoys beating people up. He likes it. And I wished I could get in a ring and still do it. I can still do it out here on the street. And like I tell you guys weekly, I'm damn near 100 years old, and I've outlived 3 vampires. I'm old. And I still tussle with a fella. Nobody is hanging around me ever, no matter where in the world I've ever been, and disrespecting me. It's just been moments where it's done, but men don't do it, is what I'm trying to tell you. And it's just the way I carry it, and it's the way I've raised Joe. We're very serious around here, very, very serious, and we're going to continue to be so. And perhaps if Joe continues this road, which is always his decision, I'd be shocked if he stops. But if he doesn't, he's going to be a world champion, and you all are going to see it, and they're going to nitpick all videos, and they're going to look at Joe when he was 13, because we got a lot of hundreds of videos up. Look at him when he was 12. And I loved him enough at the beginning of this journey when I asked him, you want to fight? You want to be a fighter? And he was like, yeah, that's what I want to do. First gym I took him to, I put him in there, day one, 12 years old. I said, who's your best guy? And it was an MMA gym. He pulled a 17-year-old kid out. Joe's 17 today. And I told that kid and told the guy that was training him, I want him to cut loose on Joe. Well, you know, your kid's 12. He's real big for 12. And Joe was damn near as big as a 17-year-old. However, I said, no, man. We're going to decide right here and right now, because this is too brutal a thing to be doing. You got to love it to do it. And Joe got in there, and that kid was whooping up on Joe. And Joe at 12 years old, that guy tagged Joe in the midsection, and Joe doubled over. And when Joe came back up, he cleaned that guy's clock quite easily. And I said, I think we got a fighter here. And the trainer in that gym was like, I think we do too.
Okay.
And then we went on to another gym, and he got beat up. How many times did they beat you up? 3 times a week? A Venezuelan professional just manhandling him 3 times a week, coming home something bleeding for damn near 2 months. And you got to decide whether you want to do this. It ain't for the faint of heart. Joe's done with this. I'm going to end the video here. Much love to you all. Remember, Christ is King, Lord, and Savior up in here with us. We hope He is up in where you are. If He's not, we hope He soon will be. And we hope you guys have an excellent weekend. And we'll see you soon.